The first step in this problem is to calculate when we let x equal negative 1/2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So here's what that would look like. If we took the 1/2 and raised it to the negative 2, that's the same as 2 over 1, or just 2, squared. So we'd get a 4. 1/2 to the negative 2 power is the same as 2 squared. Remember, with a negative exponent, you change this to its reciprocal. Change the 1/2 to its reciprocal. You could also think of it as 1 over 2 squared, so 1 over 4 to the negative 1, which means to invert it. So 1 over 4 to the negative 1 would be to invert it again, flip it to get the 4. Either way, you'll get a 4. And then the 1/2, once you get that, the 1/2 to the negative 1, that's super easy. You just invert it. So change it to its reciprocal. So 2 over 1, or just 2. Anything to the 0 power is just 1. So we'd get a 1 here. And then 1/2 to the 1 and 1/2 squared. So you'd think of that as 1 squared over 2 squared, right? So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. So we'd have, I'm going to write it down below because it might get kind of messy when you see it in that box. So 1/2 and 1/4. Now, once we have these points, we're ready to go back to MyLab Math and graph them. I'm going to see if I can do that on one screen. I actually decided that it's going to fit a little bit better to just type those answers in. And so I typed each of these responses, hit check my answer, and it told me I was brilliant, said that those were all correct. So now I'll choose the graph from below. So when x, I'm looking for when x is negative 2, y is 4, and then 2, and then 1, 1/2, and 1/4. So this looks like it's possible. Notice they're all positive. When I look at B and C, I'm going to say that neither of those could be correct because B and C, you see this part that we go negative. This negative exponent can never make the 1/2 negative. It's always going to still be above that x-axis. It's always going to be positive. So B and C are out. But then when I look at letter D, I've got to compare these and see, well, which one is a little bit better? So when I look more closely, so at first when I looked at it, I thought, okay, this looks like the right shape. D also looks like the right shape. So let's look at the precise points. When x is negative 2, which one is precisely at 4? It looks to me like this one. The D is the precise answer. So we could see the 4, yep, 2, 1. And then if this is 1, it's easy to believe that this would be 1/2 and 1/4. Now, if you're not completely certain of it, you could make it a little bigger and say, oh yeah, that's absolutely the right one. Because when x is 1, we're at halfway. We can see that it's halfway. But when I look at this other one more closely, I can see, oh, that's definitely not correct. Because when, if this is 1, see that this point here isn't at 1/2. It's too close, right? So I'm going to select D, and that's going to be the right answer. So I hope that this short video helps you, but do let me know if you need any more assistance with it.